Okay, so Chelsea Palace 0-0 draw. Yeah, I think some part of like football fans all over the world were expecting a draw in that match because, like we said on the podcast last episode, that Crystal Palace on any days a difficult match, and them coming back from charity shield win.
Yeah.
They were always and they still had. We heard the news that Eze was still going to be involved and go ahead. So it was always going to be a difficult match. Although I predicted that Chelsea was going to come out on top, but we didn't see any goals.
Yeah, I feel for the Chelsea Crystal Palace match, the way their coach set up, he was so solid defensively, and they were looking to hit on the counter. You get, and for Chelsea, we didn't get our best players on the ball enough. You look at Kopama, I didn't even know how many touches he had. He didn't have enough touches. You look at the team wasn't gelling, and I would say this is the first match. It's not like, you understand. So we just came back from a Club World Cup. This is like our first serious match. The other matches are like friendlies, and
But it's not an excuse.
But that should be said to everybody. Yes, but yes, but I understand you.
Yeah.
But Palace too.
They came back.
they played Community Shield. They've played teams. They've played teams on the same wavelength as them. They played Liverpool. You watch the match. They were same wavelength. They even
You
won
guys
the
played
confidence.
the best team in the world, PSG.
So
That was recent.
so if they had lost,
that was like 3 weeks ago.
What I think that this Stafford before in the last podcast we talked about, I said it's to be like 1-1 draw, and he said Palace should win because despite them coming back or being aware that Chelsea are clubs, we know it's going to be hard for Chelsea to even beat Palace in that game.
I was thinking that Chelsea would get over the line.
No,
and win
see,
that match.
In the last podcast, we've been referencing last podcast. Please check out the last podcast. So in the last podcast, I said Palace were going to win because I wanted it to have a
Chelsea want to cry.
That's what I said. I expected the Palace win or draw. Like either they win the game or they draw the game. That's what I was expecting. But when the match started, it was so drab. The match was so boring. It was looking like a 0-0 right from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Then the disallowed goal. We've never seen that in the world of football before.
I was annoyed.
No, it was fair.
It was fair.
Yes, because prior to the free kick, Guehi was close to the wall. He was 1 meter close
I
to the
feel
wall.
it's that's a rule in football that football fans are not yet familiar with.
Yes, and I'm glad it happened.
But
so
he was not.
they could see it.
He
was-
honest.
See, let's be
Can I ask you a
honest.
question?
Let's be honest.
Can I ask
The call was justified.
Late now. Can I ask you a question?
It was justified.
Because it's not against you. Do you know why? The four defenders were here. Just look at my hands. This is where Cancelo and Guehi was.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
Prior, we're not
Am I
saying
wrong or not?
you're right.
If Cancelo was here between these four, I would accept that yes, he pushed him away like this.
Okay.
I would
But
say all of that.
prior to the kick, where was Guehi's position?
That's what I want to ask you.
That's the bone
why I
of
was
contention.
saying I want
Prior
to
to
ask you
the
a question.
kick, it wasn't their
Yeah,
starting
what was
position.
your question?
My question is, when the ball entered into the net,
Yes,
did you have any doubts that that's not a goal?
I had doubts. Number one,
Are you familiar with the rule?
Wait,
I don't think
this is a lie.
Ireland.
This is
Let
a
me
lie.
I had doubts, but my doubt wasn't about the
Once
meter apart. My doubt was, it was a foul on Caicedo.
How is that?
That was my doubt.
That's how
Up until I heard the referee's decision that it was the distance that caused the
But
disallowed.
anyways, Eze as a player, not you.
Yeah, I know.
Eze as a player.
he's a player as well.
Eze as a player.
That is it.
Superb.
But
The way he orchestrates Crystal Palace's play, like you know that he's the main man in the team.
But then looking at that game, Palace didn't really play anything.
They play better than
I'm not going to lie. Did you check the stats?
No,
What did they play? What was better?
No, individually Watson was
they-
better.
Yes, Watson was better than your
Enzo.
midfield. Eze was better than your attackers. Mateta saw chances than your attackers.
That ball overall play.
That
You just said
Overall play, who had more possession?
of course,
It was
of course.
a very
But what I'm
poor-
saying,
Because I was watching that second half and was like, what are we doing? We're not
Pass.
creating enough.
Yeah,
yes.
We're just passing and
and you guys were not creating
And
like,
now-
good shots.
now-
but that's what I'm saying.
Now,
Like,
yes.
Palace had the better
Obama
chances.
had
now
three
to my
shots,
point.
four,
To my
and
point.
out of the 4, 3 were blocked.
This is
Just
where
the final.
we need a CD.
It's
Because
centre
if you look, Kowi has the ability to pass the ball directly to Palmer to put line breaking
So that was
passes.
Palace.
And this was what Chaluba could. If you were watching Chaluba, they will always pass sideways. They will give to Rhys James. They will give Chaluba and what's it called? Achiampong couldn't make those passes, and that was why Palmer wasn't on the ball enough. So it was catastrophic.
Well, before we end, because I know you want to end this segment, but what I want to say is that I feel Chelsea's Club World Cup win was an overhyped. Like it led to Chelsea being overhyped. You know, I'm part of the people that overhyped Chelsea. They beat PSG on a bad day.
But we didn't.
Chelsea are not what they think they are.
We didn't lose.
This is an eye opener because they should be beating Palace.
That's
coming fresh. Yeah, I feel
we didn't lose.
We all thought Chelsea were going to be contenders, but our eyes have opened. I don't think they're going to
Liverpool
for the Premier League.
Palace lost to Liverpool. Why did you say so against Liverpool?
Because of how they played.
City lost to Palace. Why did you say so?
Let's
if you are going back,
why are you going back to last season?
If you are going back,
let's go for the crown.
And since he mentioned Man City, we have to talk about Haaland. Sorry, I know you want to speak. Calm down. Arsenal is not running now. Calm down.
Let's talk about the Viking.